Hi. We can start in like few minutes. We can wait for some others to join. Hello. Hi guys.
Hi.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Then we can continue with our session.
Yes, we can.
Great. So, what were we seeing? Huh. You remember those things? You remember this?
Yes.
So, what was this like? What can be
Fasciation.
decreased or transformed? Yeah,
This
fasciation.
is
This is fasciation. Yeah. That is there. Then it can cause problems in plants, other organisms, in humans
I
also.
won't say it cause problems in plants. I would say it will give us more fruit so we can eat more. More fruit.
But there, some of their functions will be affected.
Okay.
Not in terms of us, in terms of plants, it might be a problem. Right.
Yeah.
So now let's see. Chromosomes we saw that, no, the X-shaped thing. We saw, right?
Yes.
So what to study? We can study the connection between these chromosomes and DNA. So these chromosomes, actually, you know what it is? When we uncoil this, it is like condensed form. When we uncoil it, we can see long, long threads of structures. And those are
DNA.
DNA. Yeah, those are the DNA. So chromosomes and DNA are same or not?
They are not same. Chromosomes are made up of ball-shaped things, and inside those ball-shaped things, there are DNA coiled inside.
Okay, so that's where you guys are misunderstanding. So DNA is there, okay? And these DNAs are supercoiled and they form the structure called chromosome. So actually chromosome is DNA.
It's nothing. There is this not like a chromosome is a box and DNA is inside. Nothing like that. Chromosomes are long structures. It is coming together because if chromosomes are as it is, it will be very long. Inside should be inside the nucleus, right? Nucleus are very small, so the DNA should be inside the nucleus. So for that, this DNA is condensed and it forms chromosomes.
Is that clear? So if anyone asks you chromosomes and DNA is different, it's not. Yes, Eric.
Just an accident.
That is an accident.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you guys understand? DNA is same as chromosome. Just DNA super coiled, super condensed structure is called chromosome. But by the way, the entire chromosome is the DNA. Okay?
And as you told, the DNA are wrapped around the ball things. Those are proteins called histones. And the DNA is wrapped around it. That is correct. But and it is wrapped around and it is condensed to form this chromosome.
Clear, guys? Yes.
Everybody?
Yes.
Vijaya, um, others. Is this concept of chromosomes and DNA clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So,
Yes.
so you can see this. From this image, it will be clear. First, you see the X-shaped thing. From that, you can see the thread-like structures coming. It is like twisted thing, and it comes, and here we can see the zoomed-in portion of the X-like thing. We can see some A, T, G, C, something we can see, right?
Adenine, guanine.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
the
remember what is the C. T or
Adenine,
C.
T is thymine, and C is cytosine. We'll come into that. Okay, so see what is that? These the right side image, the box you can see now. That is the close image of a DNA. You can see that adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, so many things are there, right? Those are nitrogen bases.
So can you see in this image there are different atoms, right? N means nitrogen, H
Yes.
means hydrogen, and these lines wherever they join, this structure is carbon. So basically, all these A, T, G, C are different combinations of this three atoms. That is nitrogen, hydrogen, and carbon.
Where's the oxygen?
Oxygen are not in this. In this adenine, the oxygen is not there. But the oxygen, this adenine binds to sugar bases and all, where oxygen will be present.
Okay.
They have not shown the oxygen here. Because in this adenine will bind to sugar bases. You know, glucose. You know, right?
You eat sugar, right? Normal sugar. You eat rice. You say carbohydrates. Have you guys heard of the term?
Yeah, carbohydrates.
Yes.
The body converts it into sugar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So those things have a basic structure. Ribose, we can say, or deoxyribose.
So that is what is called CHO, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen.
Those things will have sugar. It will bind to these adenine, and this is what is forming the DNA.
Is it good? Does everyone understand?
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody has any doubts?
No.
So
No.
what you have to understand is there is DNA. In the DNA there will be sugar bases, this nitrogen. This nitrogen bases means this adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. These four things are the nitrogen bases. And each one of them will be bound to some sugar bases. It will be bound to phosphate. Some things are there. Some organic molecules. And all these are forming. They will bind to this adenine. Will bind to thymine. They will form bonds and so many things. Some organic molecules, some bonds are formed, and that is what is forming the DNA. And the DNA will coil. It will condense to form the chromosome. And these adenine, thymine, all these has information of what the traits or the characters that you get from the parents. Okay. I
Yes.
think you might have seen the right side, that box image, this twisted thing, right? You have seen somewhere or the other, you might have just seen this twisted structures.
Yes.
Yeah. It will be very
Many
common.
times in like science exhibition or
Yeah. So many models you might have seen, some pictures you might have seen, near some posters you might have seen. Those are DNA.
Does anyone know the full form of DNA?
Deoxynucleic acid.
Yeah, deoxyribonucleic acid.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yeah. So everybody's clear with this DNA. Its
Can
structure.
everyone repeat after me? Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yes, Devabrata.
Deoxy.
Could you tell the full form of DNA again? Deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay. We'll type it.
deoxyribonucleic
Nucleic acid. Can you read this?
acid.
1 second. Can you read this? Yeah, we can see.
Yeah.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yes, this is the full form of DNA. Now tell me what is the full form of RNA?
RNA.
Yeah.
If DNA starts with deoxy, then RNA should start with. You can figure it out from the DNA full form.
The RNA is inside this full form.
Ribonucleic acid.
Yeah,
Very
just
good.
ribonucleic acid is RNA.
Ribonucleic acid.
Yeah. So from the remember that deoxy means one oxygen is missing. Deoxy. Oxy means oxygen. So deoxy means one oxygen is missing. So from the RNA, one oxygen in the structure will be missing. It forms DNA.
Is it clear, guys? So we have two different types. One is DNA, one is RNA.
DNA is a dual strand and RNA is a single strand. RNA is the thing that goes into the ribosomes to create proteins that do jobs.
Correct. Also, the thing is, we human beings, right? We human beings have DNA in the nucleus. But some organisms, then some virus, they and all have RNA in the nucleus.
RNA only.
Yeah. All organism doesn't have DNA in the nucleus. Some have RNA. We humans have DNA.
Bacteriophages have RNA that they just inject into the bacteria of choice
Yeah.
and then just turn into a hull and let the bacteria do its thing.
Yeah. It's the bacteriophages is first thing. So these DNA in us, in human beings, will be present in the nucleus. The DNA will produce RNA. Have you guys heard of RNA before? Everybody has heard of RNA before.
I have heard of RNA.
Others haven't.
I have heard that I was not knowing the meaning.
Yeah. So it is similar to DNA only, but it has slight structural changes. Okay. Okay. So what is the DNA? A DNA is a deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a material that carries all the information about how a living thing will work. And is it clear?
Guys, is it clear for everyone? Victoria, Minal, Vijaya, Eric. So this DNA is like an information booklet. You know, it has all the information that our body needs. You know, it will say, okay, this has to be made here, this has to go here, this thing has to be made at this time. So all the information, your mom gives you instructions, right? Okay, you have to get up in the morning, you have to get ready, you have to go to school, you have to eat this. So all those instructions in our body would be given by the DNA. Okay?
Some sound is
Yeah. GPP,
Some other sound is disturbing
Can you-
in the background.
What is it, Vijaya?
No, ma'am.
Vijaya,
The sound stopped, but there was some sound going at the background.
yeah, now is information how a living thing will look and function. So even our facial expression, our hair color, we saw this
even not
so if we study the DNA,
it's not only the physical appearances. Even in our body, there are so many proteins are made. Do you know? Have you
Yes,
heard of
yes.
proteins? So
Yes, it's the thing we eat.
they will the proteins that we eat. Other than that, also there are so many proteins are made in our body. So many proteins are made by the cells each day, each minute, every second. Proteins are made. So
Isn't antibody one of those proteins created
Yeah.
by the B cells?
Yeah, all those things are there. So many proteins are made. So where do they? How do the cells know that we should make this protein and all? The
To
DNA.
the DNA go. It the
Yeah, the
DNA
DNA.
creates the RNA. The RNA creates amino acids. The amino acids make the proteins or make up the proteins.
We'll go into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
details, Vivero. Just right now, we'll go into the details of whatever you said.
That's true. So others, just listen that the DNA has information on what proteins has to be made in our body. These proteins that we cannot see from the outside, we don't know. Like each and every cell, my hand cells, all the cells are making proteins every second.
Is that clear? So
Yes.
all our body, all the function that it does, it is because of these proteins.
So the DNA is giving information on the cells to how to make the proteins, when to make the proteins, so, and not about what they have done in the past. Okay.
Did you say
Oh.
See,
other
you
parts?
see how someone has done in the past. You have to go inside the brain and translate all the electrical signals, which form memories inside the brain. Then you can see what they have done in the past.
No, the scientists are like making efforts, like they show a picture to someone and they record the brain signals. And when he sleeps, the same brain signals. If suppose some scientists show me a ship picture. So while seeing a ship picture in my brain, there are some electric signals going on. So they capture it, and when I sleep, there's some helmet type of there is in my head. So from if the same signals come, then scientists get to know that he's dreaming of something like ship and all
Yeah, yeah.
like that.
Whatever we think, all of them are due to these brain cells. You know what are brain
Nerves.
cells called?
Nerves.
Yeah, nerves.
Neurons.
On the two parts of the brain, there is gray matter and white
Are
matter.
called neurons. These neurons have, as you said,
Yeah, what is before neurons?
what is before neurons?
Means no. Can you start from the first?
Okay, so in brain, brain cells are called neurons.
Oh.
So these neurons, as you said, are responsible for these electric signals. So
Oh.
why suddenly when you touch a hot substance, you'll remove your hand,
Yeah.
right? So why does that happen? Because when you touch a hot substance, the heat would stimulate, or it would, give a signal to our brain that this has high temperature. Remove your hand, and that is electric signal. You know electricity, right?
Yeah.
So, very similar to electricity, our body also generates electricity all the time. So these electric signals are going to the brain and tells the brain that your hand should be removed from that hot object. And again, the brain sends signals, electric signal to your hand, your finger, that you should remove it from that position. So all these individual, movements have specific electric signals. So when you see a picture and the same electric signal you observe in your dream also, there might be some connection to it.
The study of brain, neurons, those are very, very complicated.
Because
Still, we are studying on that. The
Well,
scientists are
probably how
studying on that.
many years
And one
will
more,
need to learn all the things in the brain or body?
So many.
I think
probably
10
never. Probably never, because the thing is that we are also evolving, right? We are also changing. We are encountering different organisms, different, like corona, like so many more viruses can come about. We are also changing. So as years go and go, whatever we know becomes less and less.
Yeah.
So we can never say a date when we'll know everything about us. Okay, so can we move on? Is everyone clear with what a DNA is? It's just an information. It's like a, you have recipe for a food, right?
Yeah.
You have to add this, you have to take this much gram, this much amount. That recipe book is what DNA is in our sense. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Can you see the structure?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are DNA. And what, as we told earlier, what are DNA composed of? Hydrogen, carbon,
Oxygen,
Oxygen,
nitrogen.
nitrogen, and phosphorus.
phosphorus. So we saw that here we saw that in the nitrogen base, that is in adenine or in thymine or in guanine or in cytosine, what all will be there? Carbon, nitrogen, and hydrogen will be present. Then in the DNA, in addition to these nitrogen bases, there are sugar molecules, there are phosphates. So in those sugar molecules, we have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. In phosphate bonds, we have phosphorus. So together in the DNA, we have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus.
Yeah.
Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Everyone? So these atoms actually form bonds. So they join together and they will give rise to the structure. Okay, so hydrogen will bond or it will combine with oxygen. So they would be close with each other and they'll like this. Like, they'll form a bond. So imagine I am oxygen and she is hydrogen. So we'll always stay together. Okay?
These lines, these black lines, those represent the bond.
Are these cohesive or ion bonds? Bonds.
So it can be covalent bonds, ionic
We
bonds.
don't really have adhesive or cohesive because adhesive and cohesive comes when you have solids and liquids and it's like bunch of atoms together. But here we are talking about individual atoms like
Carbon,
one carbon,
another carbon.
one carbon,
Bond.
nitrogen. Adhesive and cohesive comes only when we talk about like different atoms which have already combined to form a substance. So it can be a liquid, it can be a solid.
Okay.
Who was asking? Like, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that was me.
So,
Yes.
does anyone have any doubts?
No.
Okay.
So these black lines, those are bonds. Here one carbon atom is here. Here another carbon atom is here. The black line represents the bond. In real life, the line won't be present, but it is just a bond.
Both of them always stay
The
together.
line we are just representing it. Okay, this line here represents the bond between this nitrogen and the carbon here. This line represents. Okay. Similarly, we have bonds here, which keeps them together. So you can see two strands, like you saw the strands like twisting. Did you
Yeah.
see that? The structure, this in this page also in the middle, you can see there are this DNA is twisted. So this is two strands. DNA is double-stranded. DNA can be single-stranded also. The DNA that we are looking into now is double-stranded.
So what is
Single-stranded DNA is RNA, right?
No, not like that. DNA itself can be single-stranded also.
okay, so there are these two strands, right? When there are two strands and they coil, they give rise to DNA.
Double-stranded DNA.
And there are single-stranded DNA also. Okay. When you talk about RNA, RNA, what did we say? It's ribonucleic acid. And DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So what did we say? When you remove one oxygen from RNA, you get DNA. So single-stranded DNA can't be RNA.
Oh,
get it?
now I got the difference.
So in this picture, in the right side picture, there is one line in the left, one line. There are two lines, right? You can see P, S, A, then another P, S, then P, S. You can see that. Yeah. So the P is the phosphate, the phosphorus. S is the sugar molecule. Yeah, sugar. S is the sugar. Then P, then S. That is the one strand. And the S is connected to A. The next second S is connected to G. The third S is connected to T. So we can see there is a phosphorus, there is the sugar, then there is A or G or T or C. That is the nitrogen base. Now in the next strand, in the right side strand also we can see S, which is connected to T, then there is P, then there is S. So that is the second strand. You can just imagine two threads. The left side is one thread and the right side is another thread. They are twisted, so it forms double stranded. You're getting it?
No.
Okay,
Means little bit not.
little bit. So there are two strands for a DNA.
Yeah.
In the one strand, you will be having the sugar, the phosphate, and the nitrogen base.
Oh.
It will be repeated. As you can see in the picture, the phosphorus, sugar, nitrogen base is there. Then the
Yeah.
sugar is connected to another phosphorus. That phosphorus connected to another sugar. It is repeating.
Oh.
Understood?
Yeah.
Actually, the information that is bearing is this nitrogen bases. Can you see these nitrogen bases? So it's A, G, P, A,
Yeah.
C, right?
Yeah.
When these shuffle around, you will get different information.
Oh.
So suppose AGT is one information. So if it is ATG, it's another information. If it is AAA, it's another information.
Oh.
You guys get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the arrangement of this ATG is what is creating this millions of different informations that we have. Yes, Eric, did you have any doubt?
No.
Okay.
Do all of you understand this ATG?
Ma'am, I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I was saying that, ma'am, so that means that the sugar phosphate is making in this bone type structure of the DNA.
Kind of,
What?
yes. This bone-like structure, like the skeleton of the DNA that comes all around and forms, it is made by the sugar and phosphorus. A phosphate group.
Ma'am, and all are bases.
Yes.
Okay,
But
ma'am.
the basis would be in the center, and that basis would differ.
Okay, ma'am.